What's going on, you guys? Guardian 916 here.
Wins, Jay.
And,
No, man.
alright, we got through Vectorman 1 and 2. Wednesday?
It's pretty bad.
Not the first one, though.
Not the first one, but the second one bad.
Omar, your input?
It was not bad.
First or second?
Second.
Yeah, well, first one, it shows you that it was good, and it led on to a sequel a year later. But like I said, back in '96, it was starting to come. Sega Genesis was starting to come to a close, and Sega Saturn was here, and eventually, back around '97, they stopped making Genesis games completely. So you could tell this game was actually rushed, like really rushed. I did not like how Vectorman sounded in number 2. Number 1. I've got I really don't have any complaints. I mean, do you have complaints on number 1?
No, I don't.
No! I mean, it was simple and everything, and it wasn't that hard. I mean, it was hard, but it was hard in a good way. The second one is an abomination because they just cluster everything. And not to mention, what I hate about it is, you don't get those transform cubes like you did in the first one.
You only get like few. Like
There's very few.
Tornado.
Like just the tornado one. And
the tank.
Well, the tank was extra, but I'm sorry to say that was kids nowadays will look at that, and with how Generation Z kids are, sorry, Generation Z kids, with their minds, and this guy, he's not a Generation Z kid, but with how their minds are creative and everything, and perverted they are, they'll have a chance to do that and shit, but.
They do that a lot.
But the tank was good. I didn't like the roller derby one because you couldn't see what you were shooting at. But overall, my rating, I'm going to give this Vectorman 1, I'm going to give it a 5.
Me too.
Omar?
5.
For Vectorman 2, Wednesday?
2.5.
That's a 3.
Wednesday? I'm sorry. It's going to get a 1.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. This was probably bad. The shit that went on there, it was a very disappointment. And the fact that they didn't overhype it. And there's the biggest part, guys. I'm going to show you this, what Vectorman 3 was supposed to be. Because there were, in addition to Vectorman 3.
Well, they hinted in number 2 there was going to be
I'm going to let you guys see what Vectorman 3 would have looked like. Because apparently it is on here, but when you look at it to see what they made into Vectorman, you're going to see what happens. Yeah. So, and I'm real. This is what Vectorman 3 would have looked like. That bad. It looks like he looks like Master Chief. Before Master Chief. That's what it would have looked like, and that's when they pulled the plug. So I don't really blame them for not doing it on Vectorman. But yeah, that was the beginning of the end of probably what could have been a promising series. So, but with the new one, with the next video coming up, we are going to be taking a break from Sega now on the Sega. It doesn't mean we're not going to stop doing Sega games. We are just going to start doing this. And here's something we haven't done for a while. And we're going to take, this is a game that came out back in '96. Originally for the Sega Saturn, but now they ported it onto the PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1?
So without further ado, here's what we are going to play. We're going to play the one game that started it all.
Not really, though.
Resident Evil, the director's cut. The one that started it all. Show them, Jay. And our very first PlayStation 1 game. And this is the original box, guys, that we have. So tune in next week when we play Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut. The one that started it all. We're going back to the mansion, boys, to show you what happened back in 1998. even though it came out in '96. Until then, I'm going to know what's 6.
Win, Shay.
No man.
Thanks. See ya.